Okay, cool. We're ready.
We're ready. We're here.
Yes. Welcome to Reels on Wheels. And I'm Justin. This is
Aireen.
And today we are lighting the fuse. And we are going to see Mission Impossible Fallout. What is your take on the Mission franchise?
Oh, I love it. I think it's good for everyone, right?
Yeah.
For Tom Cruise's career, for action films in general.
Yeah, the formula has always felt the same.
Yeah.
And it's just been escalation, where it's
Yeah,
like, what
it's trying to top itself.
batshit thing can
Yes.
Tom Cruise do?
Yeah, well, let's get into the formula. First of all, Mission Impossible, the movie series is based on Mission Impossible, the TV series.
Yes, which you are a
premiered.
huge fan of, right?
Yes, in 1966.
Mhm.
And it follows that format. It has a team leader, and they dispatch members of their team to carry out a very mostly elaborate plot.
Yeah.
And in the original series, they would use like people who did spying part-time.
Oh,
and they
okay.
happened to have like special skills. And hey, we need you for this secret, possibly illegal mission. Let's have you on here.
Spying was their part-time job.
Kind of, yeah. Isn't that funny?
That's really weird, yeah. The stunts are crazy.
It's like a big part of it. And stunts were never a part of the original series. It was mostly
No.
a very cerebral show. But that's what I love about the movie series
Mhm.
is that like everyone has like a crazy stunt. It was Tom Cruise on a train jumping
that's
onto
right.
a helicopter and then
Helicopter,
back
yeah.
onto the train, and it was like a mix of CGI and
Yeah.
and practical.
And I feel like that was as good as they were gonna get, right?
Right.
And the first movie.
And that was in 1995.
Yes.
And he looks better.
20 years or
Can we
whatever.
say?
It's really weird. He looks. He has some weird enchantment on him where he doesn't age.
It's the
and-
Scientology thing.
And like the first. Skip
how it is.
over 2 because it was.
Come on, guys.
2 was basically a repeat of the first one.
I love you,
with
John Woo,
Doves.
but wow. And then Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit.
I'm not gonna lie, I
Doves.
love that song.
So we'll skip over 2 because that's as much as we need to say about it. And then they did 3.
Which is, it's kind of like a reboot, right?
Yeah, and they brought in J.J.
2 is so
Abrams, and then
terrible.
that's kind of where the
Oh
formula
my gosh.
took shape.
Yes. Thank you, JJ.
Ghost Protocol, and then there's the crazy scaling a wall, the building.
Burj Khalifa.
Yeah. The
and
whole
Ghost
that was
Protocol.
crazy, and then
That's
Rogue
insane.
Nation, they were like, let's just attach them to a plane.
plane.
Now this brings us to Fallout, which is actually sort of the first true sequel.
Yeah,
Mission
because
Impossible
it
sequel.
refers to other characters in the past,
And it's
which
also
is different.
Yeah, and it's also the first time a director has come back.
Yes, Christopher McQuarrie.
So it feels like a true sequel to maybe
Yeah.
this. I think like the last 2 movies, maybe 3. Irene and I are very excited. It might be my most anticipated movie of the summer.
The summer. Yeah, totally.
Maybe second because I'm really
Behind.
excited for the Meg.
Oh.
It's a megalodon.
This is interesting though because the commercials haven't been really anchoring a huge stunt, right? It's just like it's a series of different stunts. It looks like,
It does,
but I'm
yeah.
wondering if they're saving it.
Maybe.
They've
I don't
really
know. You
been
get little glimpses.
Little glimpse. There's a helicopter.
He jumps off a building, which he broke his
Oh
foot.
yes, that was the big thing.
Have
Hey,
you
look, he broke his foot.
Have you
doing
seen the
this stunt.
footage of?
Yeah. Oh,
It's so gross.
It's
It
so
bends
gross.
this
it's
way.
like unnatural.
And then he gets up, like that's the take they
He keeps
used
running.
apparently. He gets up, he climbs up, and then he just runs out of
just keeps
camera.
going. Yeah.
He's a machine! Machines! So, my vote for GIF of the year is
Oh yeah.
Henry
the
Cavill
He's
reloading his
addressed
arms.
that.
Yeah, and
he
he's.
just came up with it.
I saw a video of him at like Cannes or something when
Mhm.
they premiered the movie,
Okay.
and they asked him to do it. It's like, hey,
Oh,
do
no.
that thing people
That's
love
his
so
new-
much.
The whole mustache gate
Oh my
was
God!
such
Yeah.
an issue, and now we get to see all
That's
the
$25
hoopla.
million mustache if it's
Mhm.
worth it.
Yeah.
It better be.
I think so. I'm still not convinced he's a true adversary. I feel like maybe he'll become part of, because Mission, it's a very action heavy theme, but it's also very cerebral. So I'm looking for a twist maybe that maybe he'll somehow join Ethan's side. I don't know.
Or
I don't
he
know. We'll see.
removes the
The
mask,
mask.
and it's Ben Affleck.
No! I would walk out. I would walk out of that.
Or it's Jeremy Renner.
Ah!
Yeah, I don't know. But yes, there's a lot of this in the movies.
I'm excited for
The
yes. And
reveals
I'm
of-
excited for gadgets. Are you excited for gadgets? I'm so excited for gadgets. I'm always
gadgets.
excited for gadgets.
I'm excited for the strong female presence because they're bringing
Yeah.
back Ilsa Faust,
Ilsa Faust, who's
Rebecca
badass,
Ferguson from Rogue
from
Nation,
Rogue Nation, and Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett.
Wow, she hasn't been here for a
Stella's
second.
got her groove. Is that Stella's got her groove? Yeah, Stella's
Yes.
getting her groove back in this movie.
I'm
She's always had it,
excited.
but yes.
Yeah, she's never lost it. And Michelle Monaghan,
Yeah, she's come back.
which I think she comes back like in a dream sequence, I think.
Oh, really?
I thought I saw a little hint of that in like one of the promos.
I like that they teased that she was, spoiler, she was alive. That was like the whole big thing about Ghost Protocol. Jeremy Renner was on a mission that killed Ethan Hunt's wife, and then like at the tail end of that movie, you see her get off this boat.
Ethan was like, nah, she's alive this whole
and then
time.
they do like this nod of wave, and like it's kind of a sad life.
Yeah, it is.
It's like we're together, but we
So they're
can't
allowed
be
to like
together.
hook up with other people, right?
Is that
Like,
what
they can't.
No, that can't be true.
I mean, I'm putting myself in that. Is that like a
like that's the relationship they have?
star-crossed lovers thing? Like they could never, or is it like an acknowledgement? Like you're my number one, but like we can see each other people, right? Because like at the end of Rogue Nation, Rebecca Ferguson asks Tom Cruise to run away with her.
Yeah, and he says no.
So it's like, wait, so was there a little bit of a romance there? Are they
I
friends,
think
you
it's
know?
a mutual respect
Okay.
of spies. She acknowledges in him what he does in her, is that they're both good at their jobs.
Yeah.
Because they make it as if she's his equal.
Yeah.
In the spy world.
Mm-hmm.
But Michelle Monaghan has his heart. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I like
believe that like he's banging some chick on
No,
like
I just wanted to explore that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Maybe
I mean,
she-
I'm a romantic like that too, so I think that Ethan and his wife will be together forever.
Yeah,
It's good.
Julia. Let's go see this
Let's
thing
see
already.
this thing.
I'm so excited.
Ah!
I'm super jazzed.
Yeah.
We are going to fall out of the car so we can fall into the theater and watch Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
And we are back from Mission Impossible Fallout. It's a big action summer blockbuster.
It is, I would say, the summer blockbuster.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. The
Right?
Meg hasn't come out yet.
Wow.
But do you spoilers? Are we gonna spoil it?
Yeah, it's action packed.
Mm-hmm.
If you want an action movie, this has all the action. Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What do you
There's a
think?
lot of stuff happening.
I love it. It's the one trait of the Mission series: plots within plots within plots.
Yeah, they kind of stacked the deck.
It's not just one mission. No, there's missions going on within the mission.
Henry Cavill is very prominent in the film. He's like a bull, like a
Yeah.
raging bull.
Yeah.
It's such a well-paced movie, and there are so many
It is.
characters.
For how much action there is, they do pace it really well. It doesn't feel overwhelming at all.
No, Ving Rhames is Luther's back. He has some really good character moments
Does he gets some? He has a deep scene.
with Elsa.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is at a point in the movie where the stakes are so high, in fact, that Sean Harris's Solomon Kane has somehow infiltrated the life of Julia. Going back to our sort of prep before we go see the movie, you mentioned how their relationship, has its flux, because like you thought like, oh, maybe they're privileged to date outside.
Well, I think that's what that was. That like they know that they love each other, but
it couldn't work
have
out.
to have other lives.
So what you find out is, and it's not really alluded to in any of the other movies beyond 3, but they are no longer together.
Well, yeah.
Julia and I thought they were just like
Really?
married, and like he
Oh.
just was like out and
No, I
about.
think he had let her go.
I did not, so I
Yeah.
never picked that up from any of the movies. So spoilers, they let you know that Julia is now moved on, but is still very a prominent figure in Ethan's life. But she's married.
To Wes Bentley.
She traded down.
Really?
She comes into play because you find out that there's these nukes that are about to go off.
That's
And-
what the whole mission is.
Yeah, they have to recover plutonium. Marty!
Plutonium, I
Marty!
know.
So they have to recover
The
this.
Libyans.
They have to recover this plutonium from a character named Lark, He's kind of like this shady character.
John Lark. That's all they know. They don't know his
what he
face.
looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
They just know his alias, John Lark.
But Ethan once again picks the team over his mission. So then they're in this mess
because there was a point where Luther's life was in danger, and if he had let Luther go, they would have run away with the plutonium. Everything would have been fine, and there would have been no movie. So that was one theme.
So,
whether like the life of one or the life of millions, you know,
right.
A common action movie theme. Right?
Yeah.
But
so then you're introduced to the CIA muscle.
enter
Henry Cavill, who's badass.
It's basically they set him up as Ethan Hunt's CIA counterpart.
Yeah, pretty much.
As Angela Bassett tells Alec Baldwin's
character, Hun Lee,
who's the leader of that team, the
leader,
secretary.
yeah.
You know, you like using a scalpel, Ethan Hunt. I like using a hammer, Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Ethan assumes the identity of Lark in order to figure out.
When shit goes wrong, because
shit
Henry
happens.
Cavill things up.
And you find out that they need to like meet this sort of buyer who's gonna give them the plutonium,
but not for cash.
Not for cash. Enter Solomon Kane.
For Solomon, yeah.
It sounds really confusing when you Solomon Lane. Yeah, it sounds really confusing when you try to explain it because like it just kind of washes over you.
Well, when they first explained it, I was like, wait, what? And then, oh, okay.
Yeah, but like explaining it to you, the audience, is hard.
A lot.
You just have to trust us and go see the movie.
It's a lot.
Because there's a lot going on, but there's some major plot points that happen. Spoilers, you find out that Henry Cavill is in fact indeed John Lark.
The bad guy the whole time.
He's working with Solomon.
There goes my theory that he'll be fine at the end.
A lot of this in the movie?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's the best part of the series.
It is the best part
but they do make fun of it.
Alec Baldwin mixes it up with Henry Cavill. He throws down a bit.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't make it. Henry Cavill kills Alec Baldwin, and then that sets in motion the third act, which, if you know anything about these movies, they should call this movie, specifically this one, they should call this movie Mission Impossible Murphy's Law. Because whatever happens, any bad shit that can and will happen, happens in the third act of this movie.
They lay all the stakes in these mission movies, and I like that they acknowledge that the audience knows what their tricks are.
Yeah.
They kind of go, you know, we're gonna have to do this again.
Right.
You know,
right.
The last minute, end of the wire, down to the wire things, but they don't wink to it too much, where they rely on that.
Right.
As to be lazy.
Right, because they put in all these really good beats and character moments and
humor,
like the plot points of like, okay, so now I'm gonna crash the helicopter into the other helicopter, and then we're gonna have them roll around, and like it just raises the stakes of like all he needs is like this little piece of metal. He has to go through all this shit to get it.
He makes it work.
As
he kept saying, I'll figure it out.
Yes, and that's another thing I wanted to point out too is I leaned over to you throughout the movie and I'm like, that seems to be the running theme.
That's the theme.
I'm gonna figure this out.
All the good the mission movies, they have that theme.
And the funny thing about that, ironically, is that it's Henry Cavill who plays Superman, who has a symbol of hope on his chest in those movies. He looks at Ethan and says, hope is not a strategy, and I thought that was hilarious.
Ooh, I missed that moment. He wanted to shed that Superman image. Oh my gosh, does he do it in this movie? Because he is a bad guy.
Where does this rank in terms of mission movies? Like, how do you...
It's up there. The baby's excited about
That's scary.
It's not my favorite. It's not my immediate favorite.
So what holds it back?
It's really good. I can't even tell you. This was very action heavy, and if you love action movies, yeah, it has all that.
Yeah.
And it has the cerebral stuff, which I love. I don't know.
What is your tippity top?
I really like either Ghost Protocol or Rogue Nation. Those two.
Okay.
Every time I watch those two, I'm like, no, this one's the best one.
Right.
No, this one's the best one.
Yeah. I think Ghost Protocol's still my top.
Yeah.
I think for this, to really enjoy this one, you have to be privy to Rogue Nation. Because I feel like you can just jump in with most of these, but since this is the first, in a way, true sequel to a mission movie, I don't think it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly don't know how they can go any further, because it's like the culmination of all these movies. Like, what are you
Right.
gonna do for 7?
Like, they've wrapped it up personally. They've
Yeah.
had closure with Julia. It's gonna have to be Mission Impossible in space.
Something. Or
Just
Mission
like Fast and Furious.
No.
Crossover.
Mission Impossible, Dwayne Johnson. That's what the movie should be called.
Oh, how cool would it be if there was a Fast and Furious Mission Impossible crossover? Come on. Like he hires Dom's team for a mission.
That would be ridiculous. That's where I'm like,
I mean,
all right, I'm
that,
done.
That's what was it Fast 5 where they were on a mission? That's kind of what it became.
In a way, but
That's kind of where they're going anyway.
But like, it's this weird thing of like Fast 5. It was in a way trying to get rid of all the furious stuff.
Okay.
Because
sure.
it's like now we're thieves and we're professional thieves, and it's like, no, you're not. Enter Dwayne Johnson. Whereas like they're professional spies, so like this is their everyday life. I can see the comparisons in terms of the bombastic action and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know. I feel like I care about these characters a little bit more.
Are we still talking about Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Furious?
Oh, no. I stopped talking about Fast and Furious. So I think
funny.
Ghost Protocol, probably still my favorite.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one's so good.
And then I think, honestly, I would count, and this is, maybe this is cheating, but like, I count Rogue Nation and Fallout as one movie, in a way of like, in a way is that like, it's the continuing thread, because they are it's sort of the second part of a story.
I think I wanted more gadgets and more. It was
Okay.
a little like off the cuff with this one. You know, I like the neat and then the double crosses, and it had that, but I don't quite know why it's not my favorite. I don't know why, but I love it.
Yeah, I think it probably is, because it wasn't really as gadget heavy as like Ghost Protocol. This one, they relied on this shit a lot.
They did, which I love, because there were a couple movies where they didn't do as many mask things.
No, but this was like Mask City, and like
It's Halloween. Like,
yeah, exactly. That line, there is a line in there about Halloween and rubber masks. Maybe that's why you don't like it, is that they lean heavily on that, where it's
I
like,
love the masks.
I know.
I would have wanted more gadgets too, though. That's the thing. Like, every movie has had a bombastic gadget, where it's just pushing the edge of believability.
I think it's probably one of the better summer movies, summer blockbusters. I feel like Tom Cruise is like the last great movie star. It seems like they give him the budgets to go out and scale a helicopter with a rope and jump across buildings.
Oh, that stunt.
Yeah.
The stunt. Oh, we were waiting for it the whole time.
And see it on the
Still
biggest
painful.
screen possible, because it's crazy how fun this movie is.
Yeah. It had a lot of good humor.
It did.
Appropriate times.
Yeah, to kind of slice that tension.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really good. You should definitely go see it.
Yeah.
We recommend it. It is a definite reels.
Big time. And the mustache, was that worth it?
Oh, totally.
Totally.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's where the budget for that.
Yeah. Totally.
And just grow a beard too. Yeah. For
good.
Reels on Wheels, I have been Justin, and this.
Irene.
Until next time.
Bye.
I was like, this might be a
lot
good
of
time to go pee, because
He's still gonna be running by the time you get back.
yeah. Don't tickle my ribs.
Don't make me laugh. I was like, that's not gonna be the last line, is it? Oh,
And then,
the last line is literally don't make me laugh. It was hilarious.
It was just like, well, see ya.
Shoved a helicopter
In his
down
face,
his face.
yeah.